Hi, and welcome back to Just Our Tips Tuesday, where every Tuesday we're going to come to you some tips and tricks on how to better your CrossFit journey or your functional fitness journey. I'm your Coach Jason.
I'm Coach Joe.
Awesome. Well, this week we've already pulled the tip out early, so I've been warned of pulling a tip out early, but we pulled it out early this week, so we could give you some good tips on. And one of our athletes asked about unilateral squats or single leg squats, pistol squats.
Bang, bang.
Yes, bang, bang. All right, so we're going to give you some tips on this. This is contralateral training, so this is about symmetry. It also can expose an imbalance as well. So 3 points of performance for this. First and foremost, when you begin with a pistol squat or a single leg squat, they're the same thing. You actually need to shift your weight over to the leg that's going to be on the ground. A lot of people I see will try to actually keep themselves in a bilateral stance. So when they're going for that bilateral squat, they keep their weight balanced in between. You can't do that. You actually need to shift your weight over to the leg that's on the ground, as you can see him doing. We're getting ready to do some Olympic lifting. So actually you can see right now he's got his lifters on. This is actually going to help you when you're doing pistol squats. So first thing is you want to shift your weight over. Next, you need to brace your core. You still need to stay nice and tight with the core, because if you lose yourself, especially at the bottom of the squat, then you will actually fall, you'll bottom out. So he's shifted his weight over to one leg. Next, he stays nice and tight in his core. He's going to now descend down into the bottom of the squat. And from here, he stays nice and tight. He's balancing himself with his weight. Now from here, he's going to push out of the bottom of the squat through his heel. So those are your 3 points that you want to keep focus on. Shift your weight to one leg. Secondly, you want to make sure that you're nice and tight in your core. And then third, you want to make sure that as you're coming out of the bottom of the squat, you're pushing out of your heel. Now, a couple progressions that you can do for this. When you're learning a pistol squat or a single leg squat, you can start with one leg behind the other. This is probably one of the best ways that you can start learning a pistol squat. So you start with one leg behind the other leg, or one foot behind the other foot rather, and then from here you can squat down and you can come back up. From there, you want to make it a little bit harder. You want to pull your leg up behind your calf. That's the next progression from there. Go ahead and squat down. Good. Come back up. Now, as you get better, then you can take your leg on the front side. This is actually quite difficult to actually squat down with your leg over the top. This is considered a really hard progression. Okay? And then from there, you can put your leg out in front. Okay? Good. Now, other ways to actually scale this back, we've got some things sitting up here. You can actually use a set of rings, and on the rings, you actually will stand back here, and from this point here, arms nice and long, leg out in front, and then you will squat down in this position here and come back up. Now, I did bend my arms, and you shouldn't do that. You should actually stay nice and long here, push out of the bottom of the squat. Okay?
And notice his chest was straight up and down. I see a lot of people doing is they lean back and stay back when they do the ring version, but that's not going to get your balance right. It's going to be all thrown off.
You want to keep, this way it transfers over to actually when you're learning the progression. The other way that you could do is you could actually set a band up on the rig, which this is pretty high, but depending on the tension of the athlete, what might need, so this is a pretty thick band, you can actually progress down to lighter band tension, and it's going to make it a lot tougher. So you can see how he's sitting in the bottom of the band. You can use the side of the rigs here to hold on, and come back up. The other thing you can do is you can use a band. You can use a band on the rig. I'm not as big of a fan of this because people have a tendency to kick out of the bottom of this, so I'm not as big of a fan as a coach to using this, but you can do this. You will dog leash your hand in, and he will step back, and from here he will, same thing, stay nice and tight, shift his weight over, and pull up out of the bottom squat. So you do have a little bit of tension there that you can help yourself out of the bottom. The other thing is, if you don't have Olympic lifting shoes, you can use the plate on the bottom of your foot. This does the same thing, and you can squat down. Or you can actually use a plate to counterbalance your weight out in front of here into a pistol squat. Same type of thing. Those are our tips today. We will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.